you don't have to be an industry expert to write specific copy for maybe a web page or an email. You can write positioning and messaging for that. And then you can ask AI to tailor it to make it more industry agnostic. So I think just like marketing, just marketing is just undergoing this amazing revolution where you have these really, really talented marketing teams across the board that now have AI where, again, it's democratizing these skill sets. It's making people smarter. It's making processes more efficient as well. And it's really incredible. And I think the marketers that are really thriving in this environment right now are the ones that are curious and the ones that are kind of poking around AI.
It looks like we are live. Amazing. Well, I am very excited to have Kevin here today for our 10X Go-to-Market podcast. Before I dive in on why I'm so excited to have Kevin here, and we can go into all those amazing details, and I have all these great questions for you from folks in the community. Wanted to say welcome to everyone who has been on these community events with us before. We're very excited to have the podcast today. For context, these are your opportunities to ask incredible go-to-market leaders like Kevin all your burning questions about go-to-market, about AI, about anything that's top of mind. And so we got some great questions from you all before, and then I'll turn it over to Kevin. Before we get started, if you can share your name, location, role, company in the chat so we have some more insight, that would be amazing. And one other special announcement this week, since we're talking about all things AI and go-to-market, we're launching our AI account plan generator on Product Hunt a week from today. So look out for that. We'll send you all a note so that you can get early access to that. But now I'm excited to dive in. And Kevin, I'm going to give you a quick intro and then you can dive in more. And then I have lots of questions for you if that's okay.
Oh, I love it. Thanks, Alexa. Happy to be here. Just a big fan of you, big fan of Pocus. This is fantastic. So really happy to be here. So I'm Kevin Baldacci. I head up what's called Solutions Product Marketing at Asana. Asana is a collaborative management solution where we help teams organize, track, and manage their work all in a single platform.
And so I'm gonna give you a little more context into Kevin because there's a lot more to Kevin that he didn't share. But before this incredible role at Asana now, where Kevin's been a fantastic partner and customer of Pocus, he spent over 11 years at Salesforce, serving as Senior Director of Product Marketing, leading the go-to-market product marketing team for the Marketing Cloud Solutions. So lots of experience at best-in-class go-to-market teams. So very excited to dive in. So maybe, Kevin, where we can start, how did you get into product marketing? And what does the role look like today and at Asana? And what did it look like at Salesforce?
Yeah, it's kind of a funny journey. So I started off in content marketing at a startup called Inside View. This is back in the early kind of 2010s era. At the time, I was really big into content marketing. I just loved it. It was booming at the time. There was just this big association too with content and social marketing. And so while I was working at Inside View, I did all of our content. I worked with Marketo and our market automation. I worked with social marketing. And at that time, I always knew I wanted to work at Salesforce. I remember when I first showed up to San Francisco, one of the first weeks I started working at Inside View was Dreamforce. I was just like totally swept up and kind of the livelihood, the magic of the city during Dreamforce, and which is actually kind of funny and ironic because Dreamforce is going on right now. It's the first one I've been to and since 2011, which is kind of nuts. But
our team was there.
Yeah, our team is there. I didn't get to go this year, but that's okay. I think I deserved a little bit of a break as much as I love it. So, but anyways, there was an open opportunity at Salesforce to go work in content marketing. And I thought this is a great opportunity to kind of spread my wings a little bit and see if I can bring some content marketing over to Salesforce. And so when I went over there, I spent probably about the first 8 months doing content marketing. I really, really enjoyed it. And I had this boss who was fantastic. He was kind of known for some knee-jerk decision-making at the time. And I vividly remember this. I went to his office for our weekly one-on-one and he said, "Hey, Kevin, I really like your messaging. I really like what you're doing. I don't think you should be in content marketing. And you know what? I'm going to put you in product marketing instead." I was like, okay, that sounds great. I'm, in my early 20s. I don't even know what really product marketing is. It was kind of an early concept at the time or an early title at the time. And so I just knew that a lot of people that I had a really high regard for at Salesforce were in product marketing. So I was kind of excited about that prospect. And honestly, that was kind of it at that standpoint. I had a great rapport with the sales team that I was working with at the time. And my manager at the time said, look, I want you to go into product marketing and I want you to align the sales team. And I want you to support them with all the great content that you're creating, the position, the messaging. And I haven't really, really left kind of that side of product marketing ever since. I've been able to touch all different facets of product marketing, but really have stayed true to go to market ever since. And that was, close to 11 years ago.
I like that transition. It's sometimes that happens where you don't even know that you're supposed to be going from one role to the next, but it all makes sense once you're in it. And
You're right.
I'm going to skip to one of the audience questions that is related.
Sure.
Someone asked, what's the difference between solutions and product marketing, and how can you effectively do both in the same role? Because it sounds like you went from content to product marketing, and now you have this solutions marketing role as well.
Yeah, I don't think I think a really good product marketing is going to be well-rounded in all different facets of product marketing. Solutions is definitely a big part of that aspect. With solutions product marketing, you can almost look at that as kind of your traditional go-to-market role. I think what I really try and bring to our solutions role at Asana and to our team is a couple of different things. One, be really close to numbers and having really close relationships with our sales teams. And the reason for that is because we can be trusted advisors to our sales teams and help build strategy for product marketing and for the company and for a lot of our go-to-market efforts. Another thing too is going to be the ability to not just position and message our products, probably more so almost from a point solution perspective, but how do we take the products that we have in place that we're trying to deliver to our customers and then bundle those up to create compelling narratives, compelling solutions where it's not just, hey, this is what the product can do. It's here's how our holistic solution that's being applied to this industry can address these pain points to provide value. So you still have that aspect of product marketing where you need to be able to create these compelling narratives, but really thinking about it from the perspective of almost through the lens of as if a sales rep is going to go bring this to a buyer, right? You want to be really, really relevant and you want to be addressing pain points and be adding value. So we want to need to make sure that we stay close to, again, having those kind of storytelling, compelling narrative types of skill sets when it comes to that.
It's a great point. And I love what you started out with of, great marketers need a little bit of everything, which leads me to my next question of what makes the best product marketers or solution marketers that you've seen and you've worked with.
Listen, I'm biased, obviously. I've worked with I believe some of the best product marketers in the industry, and I've been just so lucky to learn from all of them. And it's really interesting actually, because before I left Salesforce to transition to Asana, we were undergoing kind of this really interesting exercise of going back to a little bit more of our product marketing roots of like, what is a really, really best-in-class product marketer? And we came up, I think, with kind of 4 key categories here, which I very much agree with. The first one is having product, industry, and buyer expertise, as well as really good business acumen. So understanding kind of the ebbs and flows of the business to set the strategy. Another one is going to be being able to position and message your product and your solutions to develop compelling narratives, right? So you're able to strategize and then kind of based on that strategy and based on the product that you're trying to put into market, being able to create compelling narrative. And that can be delivered through your sales conversations, your content. It can be delivered through your events as well, which brings me to that third point, which is the ability to take that narrative and bring to the masses. So having really good, positive public speaking is a really, really good skill set for a product marketer. A lot of product marketers are expected to go to events and be evangelizing their product. It could be creating product launches, but being able to strategize, take that narrative and then bring to the masses is a really holistic, really well-rounded product marketer. And that last piece too, and finally, is having just a really deep understanding of how do we take our product and put into the hands of our prospects and customers through our fields. And that a lot of that is really kind of where go-to-market comes into play. That could be enablement. That could be understanding what's the right revenue tech stack that we have to make our reps even more efficient in taking our narrative and putting it into the hands and the eyes of our customers. Just to kind of, again, kind of bring all those 4 points together. It's being a really holistic product marketer and touching 4 points. being able to set strategy, being able to develop compelling narratives, being able to take that narrative to the masses. And then lastly, to understanding deeply at your company, how do you take that product and put it in the hands of your prospects and customers through our field.
Just a little bit of things, just a few things that you have to be good at.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what makes product marketing so fun. I think I'm biased, but the amazing part about product marketing is that you get to touch all different types of skill sets that you can take with you, even if you don't want to do product marketing later in life. Right. And it keeps it really, really interesting. It also allows you to be a trusted advisor in the company and really have a major impact if you do it right.
100%. And something I've seen with you all and Asana that I think is interesting is you and your team own the strategy and the content for the playbooks that you build in Pocus. So it's so tightly intertwined with what is being serviced to sales and what they are doing, which I think makes it work really well for Asana, that you all are taking all these insights from the market and then surfacing it to sales.
Yeah, 100%.
And this is talk of everyone right now. So you talked about what makes a good marketer. We talked about what marketing has looked like at Salesforce and Asana. How is marketing or broader go-to-market change with this little thing called AI?
That is a really, really good question. I'm going to try and keep this as succinct as I can because I have so many different thoughts on it. I think for one, it sounds cliche, but it's really true. It's just up-leveled every marketer and really democratized just the different variations of skill sets that you have in marketing. So for example, if you are maybe early on in your career within marketing, you don't have to wait for market operations to understand top performing channels. You don't have to be a data scientist. You don't even have to, for that matter. You can aggregate and plug data into AI that's going to be able to give you pattern recognition of what are maybe some of those top performing pieces of content. But then also too, you can interact with it and it's going to advise you on, hey, we are noticing that this piece of content is really, really successful when you are pushing it through social channels. Therefore, you should create similar pieces of content. That's something that anyone can really have access to. You weren't able to maybe find those insights if you weren't in the right capacity within marketing, or even if you just didn't have the right skill sets. You don't have to be an industry expert to write specific copy for maybe a web page or an email. You can write positioning and messaging for that, and then you can ask AI to tailor it to make it more industry agnostic. So I think just like marketing, marketing is undergoing this amazing revolution where you have these really, really talented marketing teams across the board that now have AI where, again, it's democratizing these skill sets. It's making people smarter. It's making processes more efficient as well. And it's really incredible. And I think the marketers that are really thriving in this environment right now are the ones that are curious and the ones that are kind of poking around AI and the ones that are leveraging the AI solutions that their companies have at their disposal as well. So it's been an incredible ride the last couple of years.
What AI? So what I'm hearing from you, AI is something that is going to transform the world of a marketer and how they do their job and up-level them. What do you think for marketing or for broader go-to-market? What are the real value add use cases for AI? And what are the fads that are very hot right now, but might not be around in a couple of years?
That's a great question. Well, for the sake of being aligned on just kind of how we're defining go-to-market, at least within this episode, the way that I look at it is it's a scaled motion in which you are going out into the market and you're generating the demand, specifically through your field or your sales reps. And so at Asana, we look at that in regards to pretty much three kind of simple steps. And this is all philosophical too. So you can, I think many different companies have their own definition of what are the steps to go to market. It's being able to activate the field where they can target, they can research, or they can engage at scale. Right. And so I think just that entire process itself is completely ripe for radical transformation. So let me double click into that a little bit. The average sales rep probably takes they probably spend about 30 to 40% of their time actually selling. That's totally fine too. I think some people look at that and scratch their head and think, well, why aren't they spending more time selling? And, a lot of it is because, well, for one, there's a lot of administrative tasks that they have to accomplish. There's forecasting, there's meeting with customers, there's meeting with their managers. And so from our perspective within product marketing, or for those of you that are aligned to go to market, how do you take that 30 or 40% of their time that's actually selling and make sure that they're more efficient and they're more effective? The problem, right, that's been in the past is that there's been so many different point solutions, processes. I think a lot of go-to-market personnel have overcomplicated as well, to where there's probably a lot of things that they do within those 30 to 40% of their time selling that probably isn't either A, very efficient, or B, very effective. And I think where AI is coming to play right now is helping with a lot of that. So you think about those three kind of phases within go-to-market I mentioned before. Targeting, for example, AI is now able to look at pattern recognitions of the opportunities or the buyers that are actually converting based on buying signals, based upon why they're buying your product, based on where they are. And it's helping reps prioritize, these are the accounts or these are the contacts that you should be calling right now. And that is just eliminating all kinds of wasted time of them either digging through different data sources or trying to understand which ones do I prioritize. Another piece of too is research. We're in this incredible age right now where they are exposed to so many different avenues that they can research. They can go on the webpage, they can go into their 10Ks, but now what you're able to do is, as opposed to having 20, 30 different types of tabs open and trying to make sense of all the research, AI can now kind of bring that all together in only surface level. These are the top 3 things you should be looking at within this company or buyer based upon what is compelling to them. Therefore, you should utilize it within your engagement. So now what you effectively have is within those couple hours a day of their time that they're spent selling, maybe before they were doing 15, 20 different touches. Now they're doing 25 to 30 touches. So they're more efficient because we're eliminating a lot of that wasted time. But also too, because we're surfacing data-driven insights of these are the types of content you should put within your engagement. Now what we're able to do is say, we're able to make them more effective. So maybe they're converting those 20 touches, 10%. It's only two returning meetings. But now it's like 3 or 4 meetings that they're setting with those touches. And that's amazing. You do that at scale. You do that across your entire sales team. That's incredible. That's where AI, I think, is really, really take hold of go-to-market. I think the ones who are going to win the day are the ones that are going to answer kind of that holistic go-to-market process of targeting, research, engage. And to answer your last question in terms of fads, it's hard. I think I speak on behalf of everybody. It's kind of hard because, AI is just kind of noisy at the time. And I think a lot of people are excited about it, so they're leading with it. That's great. Like the AI has taken so many of these products and just made it so much more valuable to a lot of customers that are using it. The one thing that I kind of have as a barometer of what might be more are the solutions that are removing the human element out of it. So I think things like automated emails where, hey, look, we're going to just blast out a bunch of emails to a bunch of prospects, and we're going to use AI to insert these personalized data points, if you will. In doing that at scale, I just don't think that that's something that we're at right now. I think as humans, where we, it was already pretty noisy as it was before AI in regards like spam and stuff. But now we're a lot more careful about the communications we're receiving and really we're only going to be answering the ones that feel like there is a human being on the other end who legitimately cares about understanding my challenges and how their solution can solve for it. And I think AI is just really just kind of the surface level right now. I mean, you go into your inbox now and you get all kinds of these emails from business developer reps or AEs or account executives that are utilizing these solutions that just look very generic and spammy, and they try and insert, personalized components, but it doesn't look like it. I just think that's kind of a fad. I would just, I would advise for people to make sure they're careful when there are solutions out there that kind of remove that human element of go-to-market and selling and prospecting and going outbound.
That was very well said, and very similar views of the world. And I know this from chatting with you at length about AI, but how we think about it is AI is just not ready to replace a seller, but what it can do is 10x the seller. And there are studies that 70% of a seller's time is focused on prioritizing accounts, prioritizing contacts within those accounts, doing the research, understanding the messaging. That is the piece that's interesting to replace for us and for you all. And that's the piece that I agree with you equally as exciting. Right. The piece that I don't think is there yet is the spammy AI SDR, lots of noise. but you said that way better than me. I would be curious. So talked about what's real, what's bad. We also talked about how it's really noisy. I want to talk about Asana's AI product because there's really powerful use cases there. I would love to hear from you how you think about launching your AI features, given what we know about the market being noisy. And we know they're very valuable, but we need to make sure our customers, A, understand this new phenomenon of AI, and B, they're not giving us an eye roll again because
100%.
AI is so noisy.
100%. It's been this really, really interesting exercise the last few months, especially because at Asana, we just have these incredible product leaders within the company that are seeing just light years ahead, I think, of the market and even, me, for example. And so we need to balance making sure that we are providing value to our customers and being excited about the future of AI, especially for Asana, while also making sure that we are valuable to the customers' current use cases. And so I think there's kind of two things that we try and do. Number one, especially with a lot of these solutions today, I think AI has become table stakes. And I think making sure that we are, from a broader standpoint, making sure that our customer base, our prospects are aware that, hey, look, we are convicted of the fact that we have some of the best AI solutions in the market when it comes to collaborative management. We want to make sure that we plant a flag and are really strong in our evangelism there. When it comes to the practical kind of selling, we have to be careful. We can't lead with AI every single time, unless somebody probably kind of gives a little bit of that indication of, hey, I'm here to learn about AI. Because right now it's just very noisy. And I think if you lead with AI, I think sometimes reps can feel empowered of, well, if I say AI, they're going to love it. When in fact, what we need to be doing is not lose the fact that what Asana is doing is we're trying to accomplish transforming the work that a lot of these businesses are doing by centralizing all that work onto a single platform where they can collaborate with teams, they can better manage projects, they can align projects and work to goals. We need to continue to address that value and the pain points that those customers see. Now, what you said earlier, which I love about the whole concept of 10X, it's really, really similar, right? Like, hey, look, Asana is still going to provide value to the challenges you have. AI is going to take that to an entirely different level. One of the reasons why I really was excited to join Asana was when I had heard from one of the leaders during the interview process of, look, think about AI from a practical standpoint. You are taking data, you're putting it into a single platform, and AI is going to make sense of all that data. It's going to generate insights, and you're going to be able to interact with it. And that's what Asana is doing, right? You're able to work from a single solution, and then AI is going to give you insights into here are some of the deficiencies and places where you can make projects even more effective and efficient. You could ask a question saying, hey, like, what is my week looking like, and where should I be addressing most of my time? And that's the type of narrative that we want to bring to our customers, right? Which is, again, addressing those use cases and then following up with, and then we have these AI solutions that are going to take these use cases to an entirely different level.
It's incredible. I'm excited. I wish we could go way deeper in this. I think that is a master class on how to bring AI to market, and most are doing it wrong. It feels like right now, and you all are doing it very, very well.
Appreciate it.
I would be curious, maybe to a couple of last questions. I know we've partnered a bunch to set up Pocus to power Asana's go-to-market engine. Would love to hear just an overview of how you all use Pocus today and best practices on what you all have done to make it so efficient.
Yeah, listen, you've heard me say this, Alexa. The thing that I am so excited about Pocus is it solves for something that I've been trying to do for probably almost a decade. And I really, really mean that. While I was at Salesforce, one of the biggest pain points that we had was, how do I create these for our sales teams to help them prioritize their day and to help them be as effective as possible? But the problem was that it was usually delivered through Excel spreadsheets or Salesforce reports. And that data is usually one-dimensional. It's usually coming from one single source, or it's static, or perhaps I'm aggregating data, but as soon as you deliver that data to your sales teams, it's frozen in time because you deliver it maybe through a spreadsheet. And what Pocus has effectively done is solve for all that. it's aggregating data into a single solution where not only is it generating insights to help our reps prioritize, it's putting it into an interface for them that they can easily interact with. And it's effectively become kind of our go-to-market hub for our field. So when they, again, we go back to that 30 to 40% of their day is spent selling, where we're driving them right now is to go into Pocus, because they go into Pocus, they go into their inbox, they're able to see the plays that we have created, saying that these plays, these are strategic conversations that you need to have with our customers. And they're going into them, and they now have accounts that they can deliver these strategic conversations to. And it's little effort on our part versus, again, when I was trying to solve for it, I was spending hours and hours on a weekly basis, again, aggregating data, trying to get their attention to move from maybe one report or spreadsheet to the next. This is all a single place that they can log into every day, and they're prioritized. It aggregates the research, and so they know how to bring in some really, really helpful insights. And it's just been so incredible to see a lot of these reps, again, be up level to be even better sellers because they're more efficient and more effective with their time.
Thank you, Kevin. I think I need to hire you now for, to do some sales at Pocus. That was awesome. And we're very appreciative of the partnership. And I'm particularly excited on how we're partnering for all the future AI products that we're building.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
Feedback from you all. And you're all incredible. And I wish we could keep going. We didn't get to everything, but Sandy did post a link to the community in our chat. If you have follow-up questions, feel free to ask us in the community. I'll make sure I get some answers from Kevin, our next catch up. But before we go, Kevin, I want to say thank you so much. This was incredible, absolutely incredible insights from both Salesforce and Asana and where we're going next with AI. Some of the best kind of views of the world in my perspective of where AI is heading with marketing and with broader go-to-market. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much, Alexa. It was great to be here.